Welcome to episode 103 of Both Down, the number one Blood Bowl podcast.
Coming to you live from the interwebs and on
We
Zoom.
are live.
That's it. That's the show. Welcome.
That's it. We're live right now. We have at least 7 people live with us. Some with video, some with not.
One from Australia, Braden.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So how's it going, Steve?
It's going well. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Feeling
I
better
guess.
after being a lot of people reaching out last time, like, is Scott okay? Like, well, no, but
I mean, it is nice of everybody. I guess I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that feels that way with all this quarantine stuff, but maybe I get to have the voice of being vocal. I even had Siggy Lama. He gave me a call
wow.
to check on me, and I had several others check on me, and it's like, yeah, look, dude, I'm not gonna go hang myself. I might think about it because everything, but I'm not gonna go do that. I'm not like that down or anything.
Right.
This just sucks for everybody. It's kind of like the situation where you get like $500 out of nowhere, and you go, oh, this is the thing that's gonna put me over the hump, and I'm going to do good. I'm going to put this in savings. I'm going to do whatever. And then like life kicks you in the balls and you have to repair your brakes or something out of nowhere. And you're like, wow, that just cost me $600. So I'm actually only $100 in the hole now. So it has helped that we are recording more often and I'm seeing more people playing, tabletop simulator online.
I've never been busier. Like, we're doing weekly podcasts now. I've got my job full time, which is great. I'm not upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been playing Tabletop Simulator Gloomhaven campaigns like every other night.
Are y'all playing a lot more than, I guess, the group with me?
I have 2 campaigns going, so I've had a couple of days off, but that's about it.
Yeah, I have several games of Twilight Struggle going on with friends through Steam. I have we started the Gloomhaven campaign. Playing a lot of Fumble.
And yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, we got 2 leagues going there.
2 little leagues going there. And then, not only am I doing this weekly, right now at least, I'm doing this Task Force Geek. I don't know what you would call it. It's a YouTube video series.
Videocast?
With some friends that I used to get together and create comics with. I guess a video cast or vidcast. I don't know what you call it. So we've been recording that. We've had 2 episodes in 2 weeks. I'm sure that will stop if we ever get out of our houses, but that's been kind of fun. And again, it's all just being part of the community and having fellowship with people. I mean, as many people say, and I say this often, is like, you're around people and then you hate people, but man, I need people. So
I'm okay not seeing people. I do like getting outside of the house, though.
Okay, well, I need to do both, I guess. So
yeah.
I need to see my people and hang out with my people and get out of the freaking house.
Well, sure. I get that. Like I said, I've been hanging out with people because we have the games going, and that's almost as good. Except when Sarge is eating an ice cream sandwich and I can't have one. I'm like, damn it.
So just to let everybody know, Sarge is the guy who's behind running us through, I guess, the 2 Gloomhaven campaigns, and when we get together we plug into the Zoom chat so we can all talk to each other, and Sarge is always doing it naked, or at least it feels like he's naked because he doesn't wear a shirt. So it drives me crazy, but oh well.
Yeah,
it reminds us of the days of chat roulette.
I don't want to know any more than that. I'm good.
Just teasing. So Blood Bowl wise, we've been playing. Me and you just recently had a Blood Bowl game in one of our leagues.
Yeah.
Would you like to discuss anything about that?
No, I'm over it. I'm done. I was having a good run with Fumble, and then I bought a Rat Ogre, and that team has just gone to hell. Like, I lost 2 of my good players, and you played my other team, and I'm an undead team. I haven't killed anyone yet.
Well, you're not supposed to all the time, bro.
I just want to kill one person, and it's Fumble. They die all the time. I just want to hear the noise.
Just not against you.
True. Like, did I even casually any of your people? Second half I did.
You casualtied one of them. You knocked out a whole bunch. And I fumbled the dice pretty much every time I had to just get a 2-up. I rolled one, re-roll one.
Yeah.
But that's a fumble for you. And I mean,
That it is.
so
Fumble
be it.
is fumble.
It's different. I still think it's a deck of cards, man, not a random number generator.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. But I'll still play it
Eh,
because it's the closest thing we have.
it's better than not playing Blood Bowl, and it's not so terrible.
No.
It's the misclicks that are what's really brutal. Like
Yeah.
in our game against Steve, I set up to leap through over his line and try to tackle his ghoul. And sure enough, I do the blitz action. I base all his people, so like hopefully I knock down his ghoul, and I then can tackle him and then pick up the ball, and then keep all his guys in tackle zone. So I based a lot of his people, and then I went up to do the leap, and my guy just stopped, and I'm like, "What the hell just happened?" And Steve's like, "That was a weird blitz," and I'm like, "Yeah." So I somehow misclicked, and it was a total wasted turn. And then Steve punched me in the face several times and knocked
I
out a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I knocked out some, but I didn't casually anybody.
No, so yeah, I survived that game. So
Fumble.
for what it's worth, I bought a tree man with that extra money, and I know that's probably a big mistake for bloat, but
Yeah.
I just want to run with the tree man. So
I would like to do BB2, but it's just so much easier running leagues and stuff in Fumble.
yeah, I mean it's simple,
And the
and
connection's faster. It's just safer.
so
I played a couple of games during work. Not honestly. I mean, this is of course for comedic effect because of the podcast, but you
sure.
know,
Right.
I'm sure
Right.
people could play games while you have two screens, and that
But you'd never done that.
no,
You wouldn't do that.
not
So
this job. No, never. That'd be horrible.
well, Steve, we have quite a few people waiting in this
We do.
queue of live people. Should we take a break, save the podcast, and come back and talk to some people?
Save the podcast. Save the world.
Stay home.
Is
Save everybody.
that a too long of a go reference for you to catch?
Me?
You,
Yeah.
Why am I asking? You don't even watch TV.
No, why would I? It's a
Save
waste
the
of time.
cheerleader. Save the world. Heroes. Remember?
I never watched Heroes, not one episode.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, yep. We're gonna close this down and we'll come back.
All right. Scott Prime here. Just wanted to let everybody know Wizards Asylum Comics and Games in Norman is your go-to place during this crazy quarantine COVID-19 time period. Wizards Asylum is still doing mail orders for you guys. You can reach them at Wizards Asylum Comics and Games in Norman on Facebook. You can also go to wizardsnorman.com, talk to Brian Alcorn, have him send you some pictures of the products. He'll wrap them up, get them ready to ship for you so you can have something fun to do while you're sitting at home. And we're back. Now we're going to talk to some, I guess, fans of the show or people that are just so quarantined and out of their mind that they're like, why not? Let's just talk to these dudes live.
First up, we have the legendary Spoon.
What's up, Grant?
Hey guys,
How's it going?
good. Thank you very much for having me on. Hello. Hope you guys are healthy and safe all the way from Canada. It's good to talk to you.
So far, so
Nice to
good.
talk to you.
Hey, I don't have a question. Well, it's sort of a question and an invitation.
Oh.
Recently,
No,
as
we don't do
you
that.
know, most Blood Bowl tournaments are all, being put on hold. And that includes the Immortal Cup. So that's the big Northern team tournament that was going to be held in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada
Right.
in June. We, of course, need to follow all the correct decisions. So what we've done, we've chatted with Nate, and we've moved it a full year ahead. So we're going to go June 2021 in Ottawa.
You have no idea how much I had to bite my tongue when I saw that pop up. I had people messaging me like, "Did you do this on purpose? What, the coronavirus to get them pushed back a year?" I'm like, no, it's just my preference, yes, but no, I didn't create the coronavirus for that.
Yeah, we're big fans of this thing being in between the World Cup, so
Of course.
maybe this will help kind of
Usher
force
that
them, because
along.
we're friends with Jesus, and he's obviously helped us out here. So,
Wow,
Wow, that's right.
Jesus,
Gonna
noted.
get the words about that one?
Not a big fan of the Chinese or Italians or the New Yorkers, apparently.
hey, we're all in this world together. So, like, Jesus did this.
Didn't think
Well,
we'd
I
get into
just wanted
blasphemy.
to put it up there and certainly let you guys know, of course, we'd be so happy if the Boat Down crew made it out. Teams of 4.
It's going to be June of next year?
Full year away now. Sorry, what's that?
It's going to be June of next year?
Yeah.
The good news about all this staying inside stuff is, like, I only fill up my gas tank about once a month, and
Saving money.
at most. So I am saving money as long as my kids stop breaking stuff. We went from one functional garage door to now we have no functional garage doors. So, I mean, like, we're going to have to replace those because some kids kind of manhandled them. And anyways, you know how teenage kids are. So normal things. So
yeah.
But yes, I think we're all saving money right now. If we ever have an event again, maybe we all can get together.
It'll be much easier to go next year.
I've got like 500 Chessex dice in my basement and bottle caps and dice bags and hundreds and hundreds of Hungry Troll custom miniatures. So I hope you guys are able to join us in June, and then we can give you some of that stuff.
Well, I'm sure that, the NAF is nice enough to back all those funds because they don't have any issue backing tournaments when things go wrong, But I'm just going to put him on mute, and we're going to go on to someone else because, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
We probably don't need to get into that.
Well, it's nice to know, though, that we I was wondering about some of these big events, and my next one was kind of worried about Chaos Cup. And I know it's still pretty far out, and I don't want to be, I guess we could ask the man, the myth, the legend now, since he's on here.
Oh, fine. Yeah, hold on.
Let's get Jeffro on this podcast.
Yeah, I know Jonathan's got his hand up, but we're going to go to Jeffro.
Well, Jonathan's really good about following the rules because he's a gentleman, but we're going to skip ahead since we're already talking about tournaments. Let's talk to Jeffro really quick.
I'm technically unmuted now.
You are unmuted. You may speak.
Fabulous.
For now.
For the most part, and I've been in contact with mainly the Rose Hotel, because right now, since we can't see that far ahead for anything, we're going with the status quo. We're going to plan for it to be there until somebody says that we can't.
Right.
The Rose Hotel's had to furlough some people, so we have our fourth new manager, even though we haven't even had the event there twice yet. But the good thing is that now I am talking to the head who's in charge of all of the managers. She's now basically our point person. So that's good.
And after all this, your room rate should be really, really low, because they will be happy to take any business they can get.
They are going to be happy to take any business they can get. I have no idea what they're going to do with rates, and I haven't even asked about that.
Right.
But they've already, even before this, the COVID crisis, they gave us that extra room that some of the guys played games in Saturday night.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to her about, contingency plans for, if we have to have social distancing and what other rooms we can spread into. And so by May, we're going to have a number of a plan A, a plan B, a plan C.
Yeah.
And then obviously possibly a limit for attendees.
I was just going to ask about that because that would make the most sense.
right? And I don't think we're going to go beyond that. But in the same sense, like if a whole bunch of other things are canceled this summer and people are looking forward to playing Blood Bowl with people and seeing friends, I don't see why we couldn't get close to 100 people. Now we get 100, we're not going to have an issue with space.
Right.
If we get more than that, we might. But no, overall, we're still full bore ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good to
Looking
hear.
forward to it.
And it's just way too early to tell, unfortunately.
It is.
Well, thanks for the update on that, Jeffro.
Do you have anything
Yeah.
else to talk about while we have you? Or is
Yeah,
that it?
since
No,
you
I'm
got
just,
your time.
I'm just listening to you guys and I'm screwing around with my oil paints. So you
Okay.
got mute me.
Will do.
Oil painting Jeffro. Big surprise. Surely he has alcohol there. You have alcohol there, Jeffro? Hold it up. There you go. That's my boy. That's the guy to play and fumble, Steve, because he's always drunk. So,
And he still beats me.
well, it's because he's fearless when he's drunk. He's like, I'm going for it. I'm elves.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
I'm trying that same mentality when I'm playing this wood elf team, and man, I get snake bit on those. Just got to dodge away for it too. So,
As Matthew said, he does at least keep his pants on, versus some people.
yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Okay. Let's go on to Jonathan Thu, and he is unmuted.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me okay?
Just
we
fine.
can hear you great.
Coming from the Red Lion pub, as you can see.
Of course, that's
It's
not
the
a
fun you can
virtual.
have with green screen on Zoom.
As I'll say, it's not a virtual background at all.
Since Jeffro was just talking about the Chaos Cup, I just want to reiterate I had a blast there last year, and I was just thinking while I was listening to him how great it would be if everything does go according to plan A, as opposed to one of those contingencies. And for me, the two bookends of the terrible Corona pandemic of 2020 and beyond would be the Oklahoma and Spiky Cup, which was the most incredible RV road trip that I did with a bunch of Floridians. And then the other bookend would be the Chaos Cup again with all my buddies from the rest of the states. It would just be perfect.
It would be.
So let's hope and pray that that things do improve along those lines. But yeah, I mean, I just figured since I came on, I love the podcast and great to get an opportunity to be a little bit of a part of it. But yeah, Oklahoma Spiky Cup. Thank you so much, guys, for keeping it going. And I know how scared and petrified you were listening to
Yes.
the podcasts before and during and even after the last one.
Well, like
But
I
we're
said,
through it.
when I
No
heard that, when I heard Joe's wife was positive with something, I'm like, oh crap! And I'm just like wiping everything down. Like, don't tell anybody. Don't want to freak anybody out. And he's like, oh, it might have been the flu. Oh, okay.
Well, when I was listening to that, I had a different punchline in my head. I thought she was going to be pregnant. Because he was like, and she was positive. And I was like, oh no, she's got the flu. It's a shame. I mean, I don't know the guy.
That would make any unsuspecting, like a husband that didn't want to have another kid, go like, I need to drop this tournament. I gotta go regather my thoughts.
Yeah. But no, I had an absolute blast at Oklahoma. I don't know if you remembered, Scott, but the match that I lost in the Spiky Cup round 1 was against Core. So I actually got to play the best player in the world. And that must be the way of how you get most touchdowns, is you get your butt handed to you in one of the worst games of Blood Bowl you've ever played, get all the way down to bottom table, and then proceed to win 7-1 and 5-0 or something.
So who did you play against for 7-1? Don't need the name, don't need to shame him, but like what race?
It was a human team that was playing very aggressively and having a lot of fun with Hail Mary and diving catch.
Oh.
So he was having a blast.
Yeah.
And him having a blast with that really let my Skaven, let's just say, run circles a little bit.
Very true.
What did you think about playing Core, Jonathan? Did you feel like you were getting taken to the woodshed like I did?
Listening to you talk on the most recent podcast, I was like, yep, I know how he felt. I know how I felt. And it was exactly what you said about thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to play this guy, one of the best players in the world. I'm going to learn so much. And it was just pure positioning. It was just, and it's practice. It comes from all those matches he's played. I mean, you read out the number of matches he's played on Fumble.
Yeah, it's insane.
But it's it was just the use of his guard pieces, And yeah, those Amazons, when you give a bunch of them guard and a bunch of them block and dodge against a player with such good positioning skills, it was the same. I kind of tried to keep it close, and I think it was a 2-0 loss I got in the end. But you go 1-0 down, and then you've got to play catch up, and you're almost certainly either gonna tie it up or go 2-0 down. And for me, it was the latter. But I had a great time. Great time. Thanks, guys.
For his roster build at Spiky Cup, did he utilize Mighty Blow like he did?
He had one.
He had one.
One tackle Mighty Blow, which hunted my gutter runners, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pretty sure he had the tackle Mighty Blow piece in Oklahoma Bowl too, and that's what was killing me. And that one piece. And I know I say, like, if I played that one person, I would have never broke armor, but that's most likely true. But I mean, I don't know. It comes with practice. He knows what he's doing, just like you said. And I want to say I maybe have learned a little bit from him, but I don't know, man. I was so blown away. It was just like seeing somebody set me on fire, but it wasn't hurting, so it was just like shocking. And then like when it's all over, you're like, oh, thank God that is over with. So
absolutely. But yeah, just the one takeaway is just thank you so much for putting it on still, because we'd been planning that RV trip for about a year.
Yeah, it was great to see it actually happen. He mentioned it the year before, and then it didn't happen, and he did a tournament right around that time that it was supposed to be, and I'm like, oh, dang it. But
I met all those Florida guys at the Chaos Cup. It was the last Chaos Cup that was ran by Mike and Katie.
Yeah.
And that was where I met them all. And I was this random British guy, hadn't played Blood Bowl competitively here in the US since I moved here, which was about 9 years ago. So I only kind of got back into the Blood Bowl scene. Yeah, probably 2.5, 3 years ago. And kind of those Floridians adopted me. We don't have a big scene going here in Atlanta, but we're growing it. We've got a small league, probably similar size to yours in Norman. We have a once a year event going on here that was pretty good, but that's been postponed. That was going to be Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
that's been postponed, of course, as with many others. But we will reschedule. I like Grant have a bucket load of dice and minis that I got to give out somewhere. So.
I know the feeling. I was going through my stuff as I moved from the game room into my office since I've got the roommate, and I found all the Chimera Cup dice from like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah.
We still have some of those? I thought we didn't.
No, we bought a lot more because we were supposed to. It's not the first ones. It was for the second one that we didn't end up doing.
Oh, okay, I got
And then we had enough for like the second and the third and the fourth one, and.
Well, we could still maybe execute that plan eventually. So
yeah,
just hold on to them. I think they're evergreen dice, aren't they?
Absolutely, and that's why I made them.
We didn't put dates on them and stuff.
Okay, so before we let you go, Jonathan, we do just want to clear up one thing.
I was going to raise it myself.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's what I was waiting for.
I can confirm. I know that Eric was there defending our honor. The shower was used multiple times, and there were no odors. So.
I stuck up for you guys.
I said, to say.
You didn't stink, but yeah, there definitely was a shower in the RV.
Yes, and it was used, and it was the water was refilled at the campsite when we dropped the dark or the black water, as they call it. When we cleaned out the black water tanks, the water tanks were refilled, and there was plenty available. So
okay, I'm going to stick up for myself here. When I talked to you guys Friday night, I said, "Where are you going to shower?" And none of you had an answer for me.
We were like, but it was a weird question to ask. I don't know. Of course, we're gonna have a shower.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that's a weird question.
That's okay.
I would RV with those guys again. We had a blast. We had the first multi-state Blood Bowl Sevens tournament, which actually started in Georgia and played through Tennessee and Arkansas and into
That's awesome.
Oh, you should have had that NAF ranked. That would have been amazing.
And we did Super Smash Brothers, which I've never played before, but I tell you what, on a long road trip like that, playing Super Smash Brothers in the back, the guys who play it a lot taught me how to play, and I think with a couple of hours practice, I was jumping 3 times in a row and knocking someone off a ledge. It was quite fun.
That's the game that I enjoy, but I really just feel like I'm just button mashing. So I need someone to actually show me what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, it felt like that for a long time. Yeah. But yeah, we had a blast, and the guys were great, and everyone just had great fun. So
good. I'm glad to hear it.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to roll, but I'll look forward to listening to more episodes.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan.
And then up next, we have Matthew Pinnell. Matthew, you're unmuted. How's it
Can you
going?
hear me?
Can you hear me
Hello,
fine?
Matthew. You there?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you. You're good.
Oh, good. Right. Hello. Yeah, I was just thinking about having found a team yet. I really haven't found the team that I enjoy playing all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're both that way.
I've been playing now for years, and I tell Steve all the time I'd like to concentrate, but I never concentrate on anything.
Yeah, same here. I started really 1987 with dwarves years ago. Quite old.
No, that was my first love too. Was the dwarf giants from the old second
but
edition.
then I've moved on to sort of necro, but then undead. But then I've played Amazons recently, and I've enjoyed that. It's just all over the place.
Have you tried Dark Elves?
No.
So to me, Dark Elves are like, it's hard to say my favorite team because my favorite's always going to be Norse, I think, because it's my first one and I just love to hit. So they give me a lot of variety. But Dark Elves are that perfect mix of agility, so you can pull off the BS when you need to, but also you have the people with block and the high movement where you can actually hold your own and beat people up. So it's like that middle road of finesse and bash, which obviously if you go too much bash, you're going to do horrible. But like that's a good go-to.
I keep finding myself kind of the same way. As like they're not my favorite team, but I think it's okay to say you have a favorite team that you want to like, and then you have teams you enjoy playing. Yeah. And Dark Elves are a team that I enjoy playing a lot.
Yeah, I've been painting up the halflings recently, which I just think are mental. But
are you using the new models?
Yeah, these ones here.
Oh, yeah, nice. Those are really nice. There's so many details on the new models, man.
There are, yeah. They're difficult to paint.
Yeah. What do you think of the new Treeman?
Exactly.
It's okay. I might use it as deep root.
So I think the new Treeman, in every picture I've seen, they have like the branches coming out over their mouth. I think if you cut those off, it's going to look good. But until we actually get them and can do that, I can't tell.
Shave the mustache.
Yeah, like if you get rid of those branches, they're just kind of sticking right here in the front of the face. It's going to look good.
I know this.
I can't remember what they are. I can go and get them, but I'll show you later. The ones that the halfling. Oh, I'll come back to you. It's 1 a.m. here. I'm really tired.
Understood. Yeah.
Well, I think, and I don't want to sound
golems. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Golems.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Oh, those treatment are really.
One later.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? I don't want to sound insulting to the people that paint the GW miniatures because they're amazing painters, obviously, but there's times I think sometimes they put so much on there it's an overload where I still think maybe those treemen are going to look totally different by a local painter painting them, maybe with not so much highlights on every branch and every leaf and everything.
I think they look simpler than some of the tree men I've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep Root, for instance, from GW.
Yeah, that thing is ridiculous.
18 pieces or something.
Yeah. There's a reason why I don't own him. I don't really need a treatment anyways, but.
And he's $80.
Well, that's another reason.
Okay. Yeah, but I do like the squirrel. He's quite fun.
The squirrel is awesome. Anytime you can have squirrels in the game.
This camera doesn't do him justice, but there you
go. No, it's nice paint job. I'm glad everybody in the world is a much better painter than me.
I just paint. That's why I got into it, really.
Yeah. Oh, really? You're see, when I explain Blood Bowl to people, I always tell them like, there's people in it for the strategy. There's people in it for the camaraderie, which is mostly everybody. There's people in it for painting. There's people just to go hang out, and all this. So you're one of the painter guys then.
Well, sort of, although I don't do too badly. We've got 28 people in our games club, the Aldershot game store.
28 people? Oh my
28, God. Yeah. So I came second. That wasn't too bad.
With what team?
It was Bretonians.
Bretonians, nice.
It's a solid team. They're fun.
I didn't play them very well.
I said that's a solid team as well.
I modded them too late. I had I had luck on the stats dice.
Hey, that helps though, right? That's part of Blood Bowl.
+1 movement, fend, lodge. night was quite effective.
Cool.
No, that's always good. So,
Yeah, yeah.
well, congrats, man. 28 people. Can you
That's a
imagine
lot,
that,
yeah.
Steve?
No.
We're happy with 8.
Yeah.
You know, Matthew, since all this stuff started, you know, our local league obviously shut down. So we contacted everybody and said we'd like to run Fumble. Well, we have, is it 6 or 8 people, Steve, that are playing? I think it's 6. Is that correct? No, it's 7. I'm sorry. There's 7 of us from our local Facebook group who decided to play. 3 of those people are not in our state. So they are not even players that play at our local shop. They were just 3 people that were in that group somehow. And they're like, can we play? Because they're also sitting at home all the time. So, I mean, even during the COVID-19 stay at home stuff, we can't get 8 people from our league to participate. It's just crazy.
We've got about 9 playing Blood Bowl 2.
That's good.
I'm going to wake my wife up in a minute.
Oh, don't do that. Don't make her mad at us. I mean, you could make her mad at Steve, but not me.
Wouldn't be the first time.
All right. Well, Matthew's getting off of here so he doesn't wake up his wife. So we're going to go ahead and mute him.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Matthew, for finally being on the podcast. I know you talk to Steve and email quite a bit and very often. So it's really awesome to meet you finally.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have a question in chat from Braden asking you what your favorite team is.
Mine?
Yep.
Oh, boy. I mean, like, I want to be a dwarf guy. And I think that's because in second edition, we all picked a couple of teams, and mine was the Dwarf Giants.
Right.
And the Oldheim Ogres from the old fluff. And I really loved playing the Dwarf Giants back then in those rules. I really don't enjoy playing dwarves with the current rule set. And it's not that that's wrong. They're just kind of boring. I mean, they are what they are. They
Dwarves do dwarves things. I mean, I took them to a tournament and they just do what they do. I mean, I'm not in love with them.
I mean, when we had our little home league and stuff, I know you guys said, like, oh, Scott's really good at caging and this and that, but I still don't feel like I'm good enough to like really work the cage at tournaments, like solidly over and over again.
Yeah.
And really, I'm finding myself to be more of an elf player, because even when you were kicking my butt the other day, Steve, and I had 3 guys left, I still had a chance to go up 2-0 on you if I just don't roll a 1.
That's why I said, like, I think Dark Elves is that team for me, to where if I want to do well to tournament and just have a little bit of everything, that's the way I go.
I mean, fluff-wise, if you're asking me, dwarves all the way.
Right.
Dwarves all the way, fluff-wise. I have several different dwarf teams. I have a 3rd edition team. I have the one that came out from
Iron Golems.
Is that the Pedro Ramos team?
Yeah.
And
Matthew's showing us his trees. Those
Matthew
cool.
is showing us his wood right now on camera.
But yeah, that one tree.
Those are awesome models, Matt.
The one that's trying to stomp people, or the crane kick, one of the two.
I like both models. I mean, I would probably buy 2 of the one with his feet on the ground, just because that's how I am. But back to the question, fluff-wise, I love dwarves. I love everything about the dwarves. I want to get all my dwarf teams painted one day. But right now, every time I think about like commissioning somebody or a great painter to paint my teams, I'm like, do I really want to waste $200 to $300 on the team I'm not going to play that often? So that's something I have to think about.
I haven't busted out my pirate team yet.
What's that?
I still haven't busted out my pirate team.
Well, there you go.
And that's just sitting there collecting dust. And I'm like, oh, man.
So fluff-wise, it's going to be dwarves. I really enjoy playing, surprisingly enough, vampires, pro elves, and probably dark elves.
Okay, that's awesome. Matthew's showing off his giant figure, which is just a Bigfoot.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's the easier way to do it.
So
this is what people miss out on when they don't get onto the Zoom.
Yeah, they're missing out on seeing these visuals.
And now for something completely different.
But really, I can find love in almost any team at any time when I could build the fluff around the team to play them. So
Yeah.
there you go. I know that's not the right answer, but
Sure it is.
fluff-wise dwarves. And if you told me that I could only play a couple of teams throughout mini tournaments, I'd say probably pro elves, dark elves, and what was the other one I mentioned? Vampires. I like vampires a lot. Vampires, there's like this challenge that like is really different than the other teams. You know, you're gonna hurt yourself at some point, and you gotta try to beat that.
As long as you stay, with 3 vampires, you're fine. Once you go up to 6, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think 3 is the magic number for me. So.
Okay, should we talk to Michael now?
Is Brownstone itching to get on here?
Yes, he is.
All right, Brownstone, you are live. Talk to me, caller.
From I can't talk. Poughkeepsie, that is. I'm trying to say Kapipski. From Poughkeepsie. I can't remember what the freaking town was. Never mind.
Is he there?
Hey, Michael.
Brownstone,
you have no mic. He has no mic.
He has no mic. Then you need to type something in these.
It says you have
questions.
a microphone.
He's Michael, dude. God. I mean, he's probably buying us a pizza now to be delivered because he's so nice. But at the same time,
you could call in with on your phone.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
He's teasing me. He said, "Dude, I live in 2 places." We know, Michael. You're the man. The world is not big enough for one Michael Brownstone Lewis. There's got to be 2. So,
did you have a question, Michael, or are we just saying your name a lot for no reason?
He's just happy to be on here.
He is.
Hey, we have another listener, and we have 2. We have a Brendan on here as well.
Oh, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan. I know you can't hear us, but or you can hear us, but you can't. I guess you can see us too. We can't see you because your picture's not moving. So
that's fine.
I'm like the family dog. I'm getting fooled by this trickery.
Any other questions as we're waiting for Michael to type one out, which will take 20 seconds?
Does anybody else want to get on the podcast while we're talking here? We have Blood Bowl God Tim Lyons, I see, and Brendan. Jeffro, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Brendan is also from Australia.
Is he really? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So Michael, do you recommend any equipment for a podcast or vidcast for someone who's just starting? What works and what didn't? If you want a webcam, it's the Logitech. What was the box that I gave you?
Oh, I just threw the box away 2 days ago. I don't know. This is a really good webcam.
It's just the C3800, I think, but it's the new Logitech. It's not even new. It's been out for a while. It hasn't changed. It's great quality.
Yeah, I'm looking for the name or anything on it. I can't find anything here.
I can look it up.
It's HD 1080p, if that matters.
No, that's just what it's putting out.
Shut up, Steve.
Okay. I can look in my list and see what I bought. But anyways, if you just look at Logitech webcam, you'll find it.
Yeah, but you might not find one online. How much did this cost you?
Logitech HD Pro webcam C920. So it's the C920. Gee, wow. So they are not available.
Right.
And if you buy it used on Amazon, it's $237.
How much did this cost you in the before time, Steve?
$40.
So
might have been more, but
after the first week of being home, Jennifer decided that she needed to she's like, maybe I should buy a laptop, for all this school stuff I'm going to have to do. And I said, I think that's a great idea.
And Jen is a counselor, so she's
a counselor at her elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I think that's a great idea because you're going to use every bit of it during this time. And hopefully you can use it as tax write-off and stuff.
Sure.
So she went and got one. And then we were both thinking like, man, actually right before that, we were looking at maybe a webcam so we could play Super Show and stuff like that with some of the locals down in Norman. We couldn't find one to save our life. And if we did, there were $200-$300 just for a regular webcam. But there was no place local that had them. So I guess everybody knew this was coming and they didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, I'm doing all my stuff virtually, and it's not required to have a webcam, but a lot of people do.
Yeah. pretty
So
crazy.
for video, that's what I recommend. Like I said, I had a couple because when I was streaming or when I was thinking about doing tabletop streaming, it'd be one for the board and one for the dice or whatever. So I loaned Scott my current one just so he'd have it. As for audio, I'm so past buying that. It's been so long. So I couldn't really tell you, but if I was going to, hold on, what is this?
So he's going to clean all this up, folks, when you hear this later, if you listen.
Maybe. It's the Zoom H6. So the Zoom H6, it's this little portable recorder I bought, probably like $300, but it's got 4 inputs, so you can actually hook up 4 regular mics. It's got a jack there for different type of accessories for recording. It can record to SD card. It can do it by battery. This is a really great portable recorder. But you can also use it just directly hooked up to your computer. So if you're going to get one, especially you who likes to move, this would be the way to go. And it's the Zoom H6.
Thank you, Steve.
So one last question before Matthew goes to bed. What team colors would we do for the big show? Or big deal?
The big show.
The big show has his own TV show now.
He does, and I believe his singlet color's always been black. So I guess if we're talking big show, we're gonna have to go black with a tiger tattoo. But now, if we're gonna talk about the big deal, I have 1 or 2 of these painted, and I'm blessed to say that people have donated those back to us.
Yeah,
I don't know what the right colors are for the big deal, because in
just whatever.
the fluff, he's a goblin, right? He's a mutated two-headed goblin.
Well, technically, in our fluff, he is he's a shapeshifter, so that he can be whatever we want.
Well, I know, but I didn't think we revealed that to everybody. So
Well,
you're hearing
probably.
that for the first time.
Yeah, but that way we could use him for different species and stuff.
Exactly. You might see another big deal model of a different kind in the future.
Like a 2-headed elf or a 2-headed ogre or whatever. Just
Right.
something fun.
Team color wise, I wish I could go through my stuff and pick out a favorite team and then have those colors on him. My plan for my actual model that I've kept myself is to do the black, white, and copper colors that I use for the Baitor Black Hearts, which is the Chaos Pack team or Chaos Renegades team that I have. So, the big deal could be a part of that team. And for those who maybe have turning in the first time, the Chaos Renegade team I have, fluff-wise, it is a guy who owns a bar way up in the Spine Mountains. And, this is where all the thugs and stuff hang out of the old world. And when there's a Blood Bowl game, he walks into the bar and he says, I need 6 guys or I need 12 guys. And he just pulls patrons from the bar and they go out there and play. And those people do not get, I have probably 40 models that I randomize for my Chaos Renegades.
And you're not even done.
And then once they get a skill, I give them a name so they're a regular stay at the bar. So that's how I work that team.
As Ken mentioned, since he's here now,
Hi, Ken.
he said Zoom. He knows people who use the Zoom. I wonder if the Zoom is any relation to the Zoom program we're using. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I never heard of the Zoom program we're using until all this hit.
We've been using it.
I almost wonder if they didn't unleash this virus.
No, we've been using it at my work forever.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was mainly just in class to, get everyone together and do stuff. But I mean, it works great for what we need. Oh no, Jeffro just jumped into the Golden Gate River.
I don't think he's really
he's
at
alive.
the Golden Gate.
He's alive. Okay.
Okay.
I thought he died.
There.
No, he's gone again.
Oh no, he's going. Jeffro, don't jump. He's fading out. Bye, Jeffro.
See.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions for us?
Do you have any questions, Ken? Do you want to get on mic? Or are you good?
I would say so far this live podcast has gone pretty well.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with it.
People have given us questions. We were able to answer and communicate and talk.
Ken's kids are sleeping, so I'm sure that's part of the problem too. Is people's kids are sleeping at this time. We could always do it on a Saturday since Saturdays don't mean anything anymore.
That's true.
I mean,
we could try that.
Weekends don't matter. Weekends are just another day.
Jennifer's boys wake up and every couple of days they ask what day it is. So we've lost all sense of time.
Makes sense. Did you ever get your pub made?
No, and I probably will never make a pub for it because I'm really lazy and unmotivated. That's just the honest answer.
We need to, there's someone in Norman that I saw. They're posting Hearst mold, not the actual molds, but stuff that are made from the molds on Facebook Marketplace. And if it wasn't for the Corona, it would have been, good to get in contact with him and just see about getting that done. Because you can go to Hearst's website and figure out which ones you need and then just get them done. But yeah, we don't want to do that.
I don't know where I'd store it. I mean, I feel
that's part of the problem too.
I mean, some type of control of my crazy board game, Blood Bowl miniature collection because I can store them, the Blood Bowl teams. But I don't know where I'd store a pub if I had one. So,
well, Brayden says he loves the podcast and that he's 7 p.m. our time is 10 a.m. in Brisbane.
So he just had breakfast.
I think that changes soon, though.
What, they're going to have breakfast later?
No, Australia's weird with their time zones, or we're weird with them, one or the other.
I'm sure we're the weird ones. I mean, we're the mile people.
Yeah, but they shift.
While the rest of the world aren't.
They shift at a different time than we do. Because I listen to Triple J all the time, and I always know that, okay, Brisbane's normal. Okay, then you're probably fine.
I am just super happy I could make some of the live show after my game. I didn't want to miss you guys. That's from Ken H. So.
Hinchcliffe. He's the one I always send stuff to. And he always sends me stuff.
Hinchcliffe?
Yep.
Oh, okay. He said that's me. Any other questions, fellas? Because we're close to our hour. All we have left is, if you guys have no more questions for this time, we're going to pause. We're going to, save the show and then come back for some shout outs.
Sounds good.
All right.
It's the end of the show. Even on live shows, we're going to have some
shout outs.
Scott must be feeling better.
I am feeling better, dude.
Good.
Oh, let me tell you about feeling better. There's a board game called, this is a big tangent. There's a board game called This War of Mine, Steve.
We didn't get even into the shout outs before we get a tangent.
That's all right. We can do
Go for it.
Asking me about my mental well-being.
Yep.
So there's this board game called This War of Mine, which is made off a video game. I've never played the video game.
Never heard of it.
The board game is your civilians probably stuck in the middle of a war, let's say in like
Kentucky?
No, like
West Virginia?
In a Eastern European country, like
Georgia?
Georgia? Cerveo.
Georgia?
What's that?
Georgia?
Georgia? Okay, sure. We'll say Georgia.
It works both ways.
Okay.
I was leading up to that.
Anyways, I mean, maybe Serbia or something like that. Anyways, it doesn't really it gives you a fake city name. You're all like collected in this house, and the game goes through all these steps, and it is brutal. One, it's winter, so there's cold. You go through the steps of everybody has to drink, everybody has to eat. It's a work replacement game in that if the people are healthy, they can go do like 3 chores around the house.
Okay.
Which could be go collect wood, go make a bed, try to make a rain collector so you can have water, stuff like this stuff to survive. Then you have a night phase where you need to go out and scavenge so you can try to find food and feed everybody, because at some point you have to feed people. They have all these tracks of like misery, hunger, illness. There's a few more that
It
all
sure
these tracks
sounds
can
like
go
fun.
down.
Okay.
It's like your mental health, your physical health, your wounds health. Um, then you come back from the raids. You have all these encounters. It's a crazy, awesome. It is kind of depressing if you can't handle that stuff, but it is an amazing game. Me and Jennifer 2 nights ago played for 6 hours because
Jesus.
they even have a bag in there so you can put your components in there like once they leave the game, and they have a save pad so you can save the game because they said like you're probably if you make it this long, you're not gonna probably get to play it all in one setting.
Wow.
Me and Jennifer played for 6 hours.
Matthew is
You
also
got-
piping in saying that he enjoys it a lot too.
okay, awesome. It's great because you can play it solo, you can play it together, the board game. Um, Everybody dies. I mean, like everybody dies. And then one of the phases is if you survive the night, you do this fate card. And then this fate card will indicate like a letter A, B, or C. And then you look at your characters, and your character might have something great on it. Like, you know, if I'm ill,
Yeah.
I'll heal up naturally. I have a good immune system. Somebody else might have like they need a cigarette. They're addicted to cigarettes, and if they don't have it, their misery is going to go up. Well, you only get 4 shots at these things until you go insane or you hurt, and then you have to go read their entries. That has an choose your own adventure like book of almost 2,000 entries, Steve.
Damn.
You know how we played
Above and below.
was Above and Below that
Yeah.
had several, and we were so impressed.
Yeah,
This
hundreds.
thing has a ton of entries in this book. Not only that, there's rules hidden all sorts of angles in there. So you might get to some entry and it might unlock some of the like more advanced rules in it. It is super impressive. And it's really good for this time because, like I said, I could set it up, play it by myself if needed. We can save it.
Nothing like
anyways,
getting your minds off of the global pandemic than playing a game where you try to survive the global apocalypse.
well, here's the here's the shining, I don't know, the shining moment of this. I'm really glad I'm not stuck in a war. That's
Oh.
for damn sure. I'd rather be stuck at home.
Yet.
Still occasionally getting
Yet.
to eat out. Huh?
I said yet.
Yeah, it's well.
There's
I mean,
still
it
time.
might be, and this might prepare me for it. I might learn how to bargain with people and trade guns and cigarettes for food.
Okay.
Anyways, we made it. We made it to the ceasefire. We've never made it this far in the game. 6 hours in, we had one guy left. The same guy that was the leader of the group. All we had to do was turn over that fate card. Well, for my one action, I thought it would be better to go start a fire in case the cold got me. I did not think about my character's misery. My misery was at level 3. I flipped the fate card. It said letter B, I believe it was. And then it said if any character is hungry, Marco gets miserable. Well, that killed us off. That set us off to this little story thing where he finally left the house to try to go get some things, and because he couldn't stand it there anymore, and he got shot.
So you played Mist, the board game.
Huh?
You played Stephen King's The Mist, the board game.
Yeah, it's
Like the
really
movie
is
version.
kind of like that, but from a realistic like war thing.
Huh.
And there's like really hard choices to make. But what's funny is we haven't played it enough to know the decks. I now know that this deck is now slightly weighted towards like letter A achievements versus B and C. But if with our one action we would have sent Marco to go sit in the chair and read a book, his misery would have went down and we would have won the game for the first time.
Huh.
So we can't beat this game to save our lives.
Matthew said he beat it once.
Oh,
So
golly,
he
you
survived
were awesome,
once.
dude. We were so happy to get just to the ceasefire option. We were like nervous. We were excited. I mean, like we were really into this. So if you're out there and you're really bored and you need a board game you can play by yourself or with your family, I'm highly suggesting if you can handle it, because I've read that some people can't stand it because it's not uplifting.
Right.
at all, because there's people that like you think you found a whole bunch of food, and every night somebody's either going to raid your house, or you're going to have to fend off people, or you're going to have to tell old people you're not going to help them. I mean, it's awful. It's a really good game for solo or group play. So anyways,
one final question about it is, when you say that you guys almost got to the end, is it all the players are playing the whole squad of people?
So in the little rule book, it takes you through these steps, and it tells you, yes, it's a cooperative game.
Okay.
And then it says in the rule book, as like we might go through 3 parts of a turn, and then it says, now hand the book to another person. And if I hand the book to you, Steve, we all have choices. Like we can tell you like, hey, we'd rather not go out and look for food. We got plenty of food. But you make the final call until the book gets passed again. Okay. So we could run into people, hobos, that want to attack us with guns, or
I like that.
Like guns.
Yeah.
And if we're all saying let's run, you can say, if you're holding the book, you say, no, we're going to stay and fight this out. And that's our fate.
That sounds really cool.
Totally not Blood Bowl related, but I just wanted to pass on the experience. And you're asking why I'm happier, because I've been really trying to do some self-care instead of sitting and loathing around and bringing people down when I really should be bringing them up. So I'm trying. Yeah. That's just the honest opinion, my honest thoughts on that.
Understood. Any shout outs? Want to shout out everybody who joined us live, everyone who joined us on the program or just in chat.
Yeah, it was really great. We had Jeffro, we had Matthew, we had Michael Lewis, Tim Lyons is listening, Ken, Brendan, Braden, and we had Spoon who dropped off. But it was great. I'm sure Grant's really happy to be on like a really cool podcast for once. Look at that dig. Jeffro's laughing. He likes that. It finally has good sound quality, Jeffro, right? Oh, that's good.
Even on our podcast, his sound quality was bad.
No, I know. I think we know what the problem was, right? It wasn't Tristan, it was Grant. Shout out to Eric for reaching out to us and saying, hey dudes, there was a shower, we're not all that filthy. So I have to take back all my comments about the Florida guys not showering for 5 days. They must have showered at some point. So I'm very happy to hear that. I'm a big shower guy.
We had a email from Rui Oliveira from Portugal.
I saw that. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. It's always nice to hear from a new fan, but he wanted to reach out since, you had a breakdown.
But he wanted what? Since I had a breakdown.
Yes. Just giving you a hard time.
Oh gosh. I think I'm maybe the only transparent person here. You can't tell me you love staying home all the time, sitting in your Metron chair.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You could sit for
have
days.
Have you known me? That's what I'm saying.
I have known you. You can sit for days.
Right.
You're not right either, bro.
No, I'm fine with this because this is my life. So I'm being very transparent. I'm fine with this.
You can't be fine sitting down for 12 hours straight.
I don't know what your problem is. I'm laying down for part of it.
We're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Hey, I didn't say it's healthy. I just said it's what I do.
You do it well. Okay. I really don't have any more shout outs. I mean, doing this once a week now, we're gonna have to really call on people to send us stuff, and because we're gonna go through those really quick.
Yeah, we always have stuff to do, so we'll just keep it shorter.
I would like to ask people who listen to this on the unlive version. That means if you're listening now, that's unlive, and to them, not the guys listening now. Anyways. To join us, we're going to try this again in 2 weeks, Steve. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the plan is every other episode will come back to a live episode during the COVID-19 crap or until we get back to work. And we really do appreciate seeing and talking to you guys. What's that, Steve?
I said I am working. So.
Hey, well, you're essential.
That's true. Well, yeah. No, but they can find places for me. Actually, I will be teaching people in Colorado how to help people fill out their unemployment applications. So there is that.
Oh, look at you.
And Brendan said a quick shout out to us because we do a great job, and the podcast was one of the reasons he got back into Blood Bowl. There you
Wow, that feels good. So there is a few people who really do like us. That's
and Michael
awesome.
said we're both essential. So
We're
he's
both
going to
essential.
pay your salary now on.
What's that?
He's going to pay your salary since you're essential.
I bet if somebody out there has the money to do that's Michael. He's going to say he doesn't, but we know he does. I mean, he's living in two places.
It's true. Okay. Well, we're going to call this end the end, I guess. And we'll see you guys next week.
Can I one last little shout out to myself?
Go for it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
It sounds like you're sad.
I don't care.
I'll still give you the send off. You were getting excited because you got to send off the show.
No, I was just excited to be done. But go ahead.
Oh, you need to go sit in your chair?
Bro, I'm sitting in a chair. I'm fine.
You need to go sit in the other chair that misses you?
No.
Okay. If you're out there listening and this is not enough, are you still doing the World Cup report during this time?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay, so you can still listen to Steve on World Cup Report.
Yeah.
You can catch me over on YouTube on the Task Force Geek video podcast thing that's going on for at least right now. And we're always looking for guests on that as well. So if you have something big to promote, give us, you can email somebody. I don't know who, but anyways.
So Braden says he's 16.
He's 16?
He makes fluff up.
Oh, that's awesome.
And his dad's stuck with him.
Well, that's all right. Beat
It's
your
great,
dad.
but, at least he's Australian, so they're used to the language.
So is Braden the baby in this picture that we're looking at?
What picture?
Or is that his brother?
What?
Oh, he's the baby. He said, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So there's other venues to catch us. That's all I kind of wanted to promote. I'll do that for a couple episodes and then I'll drop it since this is about Blood Bowl.
Tangentially. Anyways.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
That's a big word. I'm going to have to look that up.
Okay. You do that.
All right. I'm going to let you do the send off, Steve. Thanks for showing up, everybody. And Steve.
You can follow Both Down on Twitter at Both Down. You can follow Scott at Fat Finley, FATFINLEY, and Steve at Kilowog2814. If you want to know if your team name is Both Down approved, send a tweet to @BDapproved. If you'd like to email them, the email address is bothdownpodcasts@gmail.com. Or for more information, you can visit them at bothdown.com or at facebook.com/bothdown.
We could unmute him, but I'm not going to. Oh.
Yeah, look at that guy. I'm the only guy without a miniature here. That's okay.
Well, you tried to take it out, and we said no.